Well, joining us in the studio now is French business analyst and investor Yannick Naud. Sir, thanks for joining us. Let's start a little bit by talking about the European markets.
Yes.
Not a pretty picture today, pretty much around Europe. We've got oil prices down, the yuan and such.
Yes.
What's really worrying the market right now?
Well, I mean, the market started higher, I think, on the back of Asia. We had some positive number from China. Industrial output was better than expected. Retail sale as well. So some positive with the Tankan in Japan as well. All in all, the market is not capable of sustaining the upside right now, probably because of the oil price. It's a bit like last week. I mean, the oil price continued to go lower. I mean, now we had 7 years low on the WTI or the Brent. There is obviously the Fed on Wednesday that will most probably, according to the market, there's a 76% chance that they will raise interest rate, and therefore that creates volatility and uncertainty.
In terms of macro risk, obviously we have the oil price surging lower on the oversupply, and looking forward, we've got the Fed obviously on Wednesday as well. But tomorrow we've got Greece.
Yes.
Which has been, perhaps not quite in the middle of our targets for some time, but still, there is still some concern among investors, isn't there, about exactly what it's doing?
Well, yes or no. I mean, the stock market in Greece today is probably the best performing stock market. It's up 1.5%, I think, as of right now. Tomorrow, the Greek parliament should vote on the next series of reform.
How many times have we said that, right?
Yes, I know. Mainly about privatization and on the energy sector. Syriza, the coalition led by Syriza has only 2-seat majority. So obviously, there is uncertainty if they will be able to push those reforms.
The key is pension reforms, though, isn't it? That's what's worrying investors, isn't it?
Next month, you will have the third package of reform, and it's mainly pension reform, and that will be quite harder to achieve. I think tomorrow should be achieved, and therefore Greece should be able to get 1 billion from the European Commission by the end of the week. So that's a positive. But as you say, since there's no debt relief for Greece, the debt to GDP is around 200% of GDP. For Greece, we will have to wait result after result, package after package. So all in all, I think there might be some positive news tomorrow. But as you said, next month will be the tougher one.
Let's talk a little bit about the French elections.
Yes.
It's a very interesting time for French politics. If you take a look at the events that's happened in the past few days, but also last week. I mean, what sort of impact do you think on the EU as a whole these elections are having?
Well, I mean, it's not the most important election, the regional election, but what's happened to the second largest Eurozone economy is obviously very important for the EU. I think what we saw yesterday, which was the fact that we had kind of Republican front with socialist and center-right electors voting for each other in order to make a barrage against the Front National is a positive thing. It's not the first time we see it in France, but it's a positive thing. There's a lot of, positive news are in short supply in France these days. So we have to celebrate the fact that it happened. Obviously, Front National will not disappear. We will see for the next election and probably for the presidential election that it will be a contender. But what the government have to do is make sure that the economy recovers. I think the main driver in politics, French politics, is not the refugee crisis, it's not the immigration, it's really the fact that unemployment is not going down so far in France. So the government have to tackle this issue. I think it's very, very important.